Hey everyone, Nick Belezzo, hopeless guitar enthusiast, here with you once again. And get ready for another installment of the internet's least watched guitar-related game show, Guitar Surfin with Hopeless.
Surfing with Hopeless.
This is the game where I go online and look at the used and vintage inventory on high-end guitar stores, and I try to guess the year, make, and model of that guitar based solely on the listing picture. And if I get all three of those right, I get a point. And then once we know what the guitar is, I try to guess what they have it listed for. Now, this is probably one of the nerdiest things you'll see in guitar YouTubedom, but it's got a little bit of practicality to it. But this is what I love to do in my own spare time. I go online, I try to guess what these guitars are and impress my imaginary girlfriend with all my guitar knowledge. What's really cool about it is it does keep me informed on what's going on in the used and vintage guitar market, what's being sold, how much it's being sold for. So hopefully you'll get to learn a few things and have a little fun when you're playing along here at home. It also shows what I don't know, what I have to learn more about, because as much as I know on stuff like Fender and Gibson, there's a lot of makes and models that I don't know a lot about, and this helps me learn those guitars. So on today's episode, we're going to be looking at Emerald City guitars in Seattle. Emerald City has some really cool guitars. They always seem to get these primo vintage examples, and they make really cool videos. They have a YouTube channel, and they always have some great content on these guitars. So I'm not sponsored by them. I haven't reached out to them. I'm just doing this on my own accord because I like the site, but please go to their website and check out their videos. A lot of really cool stuff is there. We're going to be taking a look at their vintage showcase. So I'm assuming this is probably going to be some of the cream of the crop vintage examples, and I know for a fact there's probably bursts. They've had like 2 bursts for sale for a while, so there's probably going to be maybe 1 or 2 guitars that I have seen that I'll know that'll pop up here. Maybe they've sold them, I'm not sure, but I'm going to give myself the point anyways, in case it does come up. I'm just telling you that. And also, as a preface, we're looking at just electric guitars here. So if they've got acoustics, I just don't know acoustics as well. Stuff like lap steels and mandolins and, tenor guitars and stuff. I don't know much about that stuff. So we're looking at basically the electric guitars on this. So are you ready? You want to begin? All right, let's get things moving. Okay, yeah, so 2 very cool, desirable vintage guitars right off the bat here. So we've got a pre-CBS Fender Stratocaster, and this one has been played to death. And what's really cool is, yeah, I know from a collector standpoint, people want all original, as close to mint as possible, but nothing looks quite as cool as a beat up, well-played vintage Stratocaster, and that usually means that it was a good one. What's really cool about this is whoever played it was probably both played with a pick, and they played with their fingers, because it's got this 3-ply mint guard, and that middle layer of the celluloid is leaching through to that top layer. But you can tell in between the neck and the middle pickups, there is this spot, this little halo where the black is coming through. You see this sometimes on well-played 60s Strats where they've rested their fingers so much on there that they put an indent and they've actually worn through that first layer of plastic. So that's cool. Someone played this with their fingers and played it to death. I mean, it could be pick marks, but it looks like the rubbing from fingers. And also you can tell they play with a pick, because on top here, between the neck and the bridge, you see pick marks and flaking in the finish from upstrokes. So either this was played by multiple players, or they had someone who was playing with both fingers and a pick. But obviously they love this guitar, and plenty of wear all over it, and it looks really cool. So it's obviously an early 60s. It has that look, and one thing we can tell, it's got to be at least a 59, late 59 through probably 62. And the reason being is we have a rosewood neck. A lot of people refer to these as clay dots, but I think they're actually made with some kind of like fiberboard material. But we have the old style dots, and the other thing about it is, of course, the green guard, and it's 11-hole pick guard, but this sunburst looks like an original 2-tone sunburst. And what's really cool about that is at some point in 1958, Fender changed from a 2-tone to a 3-tone sunburst. But for some reason, they made a bunch of 2-tone sunburst Strats in 59 into 1960. And a lot of the red from these 3-tone bursts do fade around this period. The UV color fast resistance wasn't so good on these Strats. The 58s tend to retain their red, but there were legit original 59 two-tone bursts, and this looks like it might be one of them. So the reason why I think that this is a two-tone, there's no trace of red. Everything looks like it's this outside Salem shader is what they call it. It's really a very dark brown. And this is what collectors would refer to as a wide burst, because this outside layer is sprayed much more thick than it would be normally on a three-tone or a two-tone burst. I know that this was somewhat common in 60. The 59 two-tones usually look a lot more like the older ones. So on this first one, you're getting butt breath. I can see the cloud of smoke. Okay, my final answer on this one, a 1960 Fender Stratocaster. And then we got a really cool original Black Beauty Les Paul. Now this could be anywhere from 57 to, they actually made this model as late as 61. I know they changed the standard Les Paul Sunburst some point in 1960 to the SG body style, but they actually made the old single cut Black Beauties up into 1961. This looks like an earlier example. It could be a 57 through maybe an early 60. However, we got the black bell knobs, decent patina and wear on those humbuckers. I'm thinking it's 58 to 60, I'm thinking. I'm gonna go with a 58 on that one. Okay, 1958 Gibson Les Paul Custom Black Beauty. So let's see how I did. All right, so we got a 1960 Fender Stratocaster. That one could have gone either way. It could have been a late 59. It could have been a 61, even maybe a 62. And then a 58 Gibson Les Paul Custom. That one, again, could have gone 57, 58, 59. So I'm thinking, okay, the 60s Fender Stratocaster with this wear, mostly original, 25K is probably what they would ask for it. And a Gibson Les Paul Custom with 3 PAFs in it usually go, I'd say, about 70K. So 25K and 70K. Let's see what they've got on that. Okay, so basically 29. So a little bit higher end. One of my dream guitars is a 58 three-tone Strat, and they usually go for 25 to 28. So that's a little bit higher than what I thought it would be. So 29,000 about, and then yeah, 68.9, so about 70,000. That's where the original Black Beauties go for. Okay, so let's move on, take a look at our next two. So we do have an acoustic in there. We're not gonna count that one, but I'll take a stab at it. Looks like we got a 1964 Gibson Firebird 1. I'm thinking it's a 64 because these started in 63 and they started changing the design in 65 to a non-reverse body, and there's some sort of transition features on some of those models. So the only like full production year of the original reverse body neck through Firebirds is 64. So that's why I'm going to guess at 64. It looks like a standard finish. I can't tell if that, it almost looks like it might have a Seymour Duncan replaced Firebird pickup that's been aged. I can't tell if that's nicks or dings, but it looks like it's got that S logo in there. So I'll go with the 64 Firebird 1. Now the Martins, I'll be honest, I don't know, but I like to take a stab at it. It looks like a D18, kind of old, probably looks like it had some touch-up work done on it. No idea, but that's what I'll guess just for fun. So let's see what we got here. Yep, 64 Firebird, Gibson Firebird 1. And a 1938 D18. So that's one of the earliest dreadnoughts. So that is going to be a pricey guitar. I mean, depending on what work's been done to it. But I have no idea what they go for. But that's a pretty desirable Martin. The Firebirds are fairly rare. Firebird 1 is the lowest end model with the single pickup. It goes all the way up to the Firebird 7. I'm not sure what those go for, but I know like the Eric Clapton Firebird 1, the custom shop was selling like 7-8 grand. So I would say maybe in today's market, 10 grand for that one. The Martin is going to be expensive. I don't know what it is. Oh, 13.9. 14K. Gee, what's going on with that one? Wow. Now, these are very prone to headstock and heel breaks just because they're so large.
You mean top heavy, dummy.
But yeah, 14K, man. I guess I'm out of it. No breaks, cracks, or repairs. Old social security number etched on the headstock. Replaced bridge, replaced knobs, currently fitted with a Seymour Duncan. The original wrap around bridge and original pickup are included. Okay, so yeah, that's probably why it's hard to see one of those that aren't messed up. 47,000 on the D18. Wow. Cool. Yeah, it looks like the bridge might have been replaced. Yeah, we got some heavy hitters here, folks. So what do we got? We got an early Blackguard Fender Telly, and it's got the Phillips screws. It's hard to tell because the butterscotches age at varying points. Now you can usually tell based on the hardware, like the switch tip and the knobs change a bit. Brass saddle, the blonde is slightly aged, but it still retained a lot of its original like light creamy blondness. It's not a complete butterscotch, and it's on sale. Which I don't know why they do on vintage guitars. That's stupid, you know. I'm gonna guess it can be 52s when they started doing the Phillips screw heads. I want to say, just by the look at it, the vibe of that butterscotch, I want to say it's a 52. So the early ones seem to go less buttery. That might be just me. I know it's all smoke and play exposure. I get it, but I'm going to say, I can't read the serial number on it. I have no idea on that. I'm going to say 52. 52 Fender Telecaster Blackguard. And then we have a bass. I'm not as good with the basses, but I know about custom color history pretty well. It looks like we're looking at an early to mid 60s Fender precision bass in black. Now, normally when I see a 60s Fender in black, I immediately think refin. Black is actually a fairly rare custom color back in the day. Now, black is probably the most common guitar color that you'll see. But in the 60s, it wasn't as common. Normally I would say refin, but there is a great amount of wear below the pickguard and below the pickup there from a finger resting there, and it's got white primer. Sometimes they wouldn't even prime these things, and I don't see any yellow coat. It doesn't look like it's a respray. I'm gonna say this is an original black precision bass. It's got the older dots, still has the wide spacing, but kind of a white guard. It hasn't really leached through, but of course it could have replacement, refresh, you know, there could be modifications. I'm gonna go with a 63 on that one. So a 1963 Fender precision bass in black. Okay, 52/55 Fender Telecaster. I'm gonna give that one to me because it's obviously the body is 52, and that's mainly what we're looking at. It's hard to tell on the neck. And some point in 54, the formula of how they finished the body changed. Something changed where it went from a butterscotch age, a whiter blonde, and they aged differently. So it's definitely a 52 body, 55 neck. Okay, I was 1 year off. I got that wrong. So a 64 Fender precision bass, but I was close. Basically got it right. As far as value goes, it's hard to tell on a swap neck. It's still got a vintage swap neck, but technically now it's a parts guitar. What are Blackguards going for? So if it's got an original neck, original body, I'd say it might still get like 30K, 35K. Say 35K on the Telecaster. Not as good as the precision bass of the market, I don't know. But if it is an original custom color, I would say 15 to 20K. I'm gonna guess high on that because black is a rare color. 20K on that precision bass. Let's see how I did. Okay, 16.9. So I was shooting really high on the Partscaster. Wow, yeah, 19. So that's gotta be an original black. I'm gonna take a look at the Fender Telecaster just because I wanna see the neck. Maybe it's a TG. Might be a Taddeo Gomez neck, which are sought after. They didn't pull off the neck. Lazy. Guys are lazy. Okay, it's a refin body, so I didn't even know what the hell I was talking about. It's a nice refin by Joe Riggio. I don't know him. It's got old wood, but it's been refinished and heavily modified. Still a cool guitar. A player grade for a mere 16 or 17,000, whatever it was. Now looking at the bass, yeah, this has got to be an original. The neck still looks nice on it. Yeah, original case. Oh man, that is cool. Yes, you'll learn if you actually watch my channel. I love original Fender custom colors. I am nuts about them. Like many collectors, though, the difference is I don't have any money to buy them. At least not yet. I will. Be balling someday. Yeah. Incredibly rare P-bass and original custom color black. Yeah. It's an L neck plate, clay dot inlays. When they say it's clay, I could be wrong. Maybe it's clay. Please shout out in the comments. Let me know if I'm wrong on the dots. Oh man, yeah. Woo! Woo! All right, next up. Okay, so we got a tricky one here. Another acoustic, which doesn't count. So a gold top Les Paul, looks original, got some greening on it. It's got to be a 57 or a 58. So 57's when they introduced the humbuckers, and of course 58 is when they switched over to the Sunbursts. So it's a toss-up here. It's hard to tell. I'm not that much of a nut to really look at the details, so it's 57 or 58. Let's go with a 1958 Gibson Les Paul. I don't know if they're calling them the standards yet. By then, it was around sometime in 58 they call them standards. I think it was when they changed to the burst. And a really cool old Martin. I think that with the binding, the rosette, I think that's a D28 model. So let's see what I did. Okay, 1958 Gibson Les Paul, owned by Paul Reed Smith. All right, well, that's going to screw up the value. I don't know how much provenance they have or how that adds to the value if it's owned by another well-known guitar maker. But it's got to add, it probably adds something. But it's still a desirable guitar in its own right. And a 1946 Martin D28. Whoa. All right, and see, it was $33,000, so I don't know what the values are on that. But the Gibson Les Paul, owned by Paul Reed Smith, I don't know what the gold tops kind of go for, but I think they go in the 100K to maybe the 150 range. I'll guess high. I'll say it's 150K on that one, which might be way high, but let's see. Oh, 150K? Okay, I'm not as dumb as I thought I was. All right, moving on. Well, another Martin. I'm not going to be able to guess that one, but it's got more of the ornate appointment, so I think that's a D45. I'm not sure on that, but I'm pretty sure it's a D45. And it's bursted. It looks newer. I'd say that's probably a 70s, maybe an 80s, late 70s, early 80s Martin D45. And we got another gold top. So 2 gold tops right in a row. Again, could be a 57, could be a 58. I'm not sure, but it's got the pickup covers removed, black bobbins, and it looks like it's in pretty good condition. Some sideways checking. It's not a green top. Man, 57, 58. Well, we got lucky with that other one. So I'm going to say this is also a 1958 Gibson Les Paul gold top. So let's check it out. Wow. So I got another one. I'm doing well. See, these guitars are definitely more in my wheelhouse. It's narrowed down to some like really nice examples. So I know a bit more about these guitars. But a 58 gold top, it could have gone 57 or 58. Don't know what they want for the Martin, but let's see. Okay, I'd say maybe this one might be a little bit less. 100K, 125. Let's go 125K. See what they got it priced at. Okay, 120. 120K. Cool. So it's probably pretty much legit then. It's probably got the original PAFs. But man, that's a nice looking guitar. Oh, it's cool. And it's got that yellow ink stamp. So I think, is this a dark back? Yeah, it's a dark back, which is cool. So dark backs are kind of rare where the back of the guitar, the mahogany, is of course a much darker finish than they're usually the lighter shade of red that they use. But the original parts are included, so yeah, really cool. Looking at some nice guitars here. Oh man, okay, so another gold top. Oh, and these are on sale. So 52 Gibson Les Paul gold top. No poker chip. It's got the trapeze with the strings winding underneath it, which means it's got the shallow neck angle, and it's got the see-through knobs, which I really like. I really love the way those knobs look like on a Les Paul. And then, no doubt, 58 Gibson Flying V Carina. And it's got gold parts, but the pickup covers have been worn off, the gold plating there. But yeah, that's a legit, it's rare to see one of these for sale. So that is really cool. So let's see what I got. Yep, 52 Gibson Les Paul gold top and 1958 Gibson Flying V. So let's take a look at that Flying V. It's rare that one of these will come up for sale. Wow, cool. And it's got the original case, which was a special order. Wow. Now it looks like there's 2 holes drilled at the top of the by the neck body joint there, so I'm not really interested in it anymore. I'm joking, by the way. Of course I'm interested in it. Are you kidding me? So 52 Gibson Les Paul gold top. This one looks in pretty good condition. very little wearing, some checking, but no green top to it. That's a nice example. They don't go for as much because of that shell neck angle. People don't like them with the trapeze, but considering that this is a nice early primo example, I'll say that 20 to 25, I'll say 25K on that one. And the Gibson Flying V, God, they're so rarely for sale, and they're so rare that the market on that is all over the place. So it's hard to tell what they'll go for, but I'll say $250,000 on that one, 250K. So let's see what they got them at. Okay, 20, originally 24, marked down to 20. Sometimes those are hard sells. That's a really nice example though for 20K. I think that's worth it. I think you should buy that one. Hey, whoa. 400K on the Flying V. Wow. So the market, I know the Explorers have been going nuts in the last few years, so they're probably trying to cash in on that. But it's on sale. I don't get that. Like, I was looking at this $410,000 guitar and just a little out of my price. Oh, it's on sale for $392,000. I thought, I think I'll pick it up now. I don't know why. I mean, obviously, I don't sell guitars of this caliber, nowhere near it. I don't sell guitars that cost more than my mortgage, but I don't know why a sale would make it more enticing. I figure anyone who's interested has got to reach out and work out a deal anyways, but okay. All right, early 60s Gibson Les Paul SG style standard. It's got to be a 61 or a 62. 62, they did a lot with those ebony black Lear vibrolas. This one's got the sideways vibrola, which is just horrible. Looks cool. I think they look cool as hell, but they're terrible if they don't function. I don't think it's a refin. If it's original, the cherry is really nice. It's a really nice example of this guitar. So I'm gonna say it's probably could be a 60 to 62. I'm gonna say it's a 61. So 1961 Gibson SG Les Paul. And then we got another gold top. So they're just gold top heavy here. 56. 1956 Gibson Les Paul gold top in also stunning condition. I mean, they weren't lying. This is a showcase here, folks. We're getting the cream of the crop. So let's see what I did. Yep, 1962. Okay, so I was 1 year off. Could have been a 61 or a 62. And then a 1956 Gibson Les Paul gold top. Oh, gold back. Cool. So that is an all gold top. Well, it's a all gold top. Like, you get what I'm saying. You see it sometimes on their full body guitar, like the 295s and stuff. That's rare. So I don't know how much that adds to the value, but you got a 62 Gibson Les Paul standard, really good condition. I would say for one that's in that condition, you could probably get 20K for that. Les Paul gold top, I don't know what they go for normally, that market. All gold in great condition, 40K? I'll say 40K. Let's see what they say. 25. Okay, so pretty high end. That must be top of the top end for an early SG style guitar. So that's probably all original. And 42.9, so 43. Okay, I was close. Cool. Let's take a look at the gold top. Not super, super rare, but pretty damn rare to see an all gold Les Paul. Really cool and in fantastic condition. Wow, cool. And on sale. Next up, all right, another Martin. This one looks like an older Martin, D28. No idea on the year. And then definitely a mid-50s blonde Strat and a hardtail. So what's really cool about this guitar, blonde maple neck Strats, big time collector's guitars. If they have the gold hardware, usually they refer to that as the Mary Kay version. Basically all it was Mary Kay, she didn't even get the guitar. Fender did a promo ad with her where she held the guitar. So it's been known as the Mary Kay. If you're into vintage guitars, you know all about that. But this looks like it has regular nickel hardware. It's a hardtail. This was the very first catalog custom color guitar. Now in about 1956, they did advertise that they will spray your guitar in your color of your choice for an upcharge. In the 60s, it was 5%. I'm not sure what it is on the 56 price list. They didn't have a standardized chart. So that meant you just had to go to your dealer and say, hey, I want it in this color. And basically you were looking at Duco, DuPont, or Lucite colors is what it was soon became, which was the acrylic lacquer version. And those were the very first custom colors. But the actual first cataloged custom color guitar was these ash-bodied blonde Strats. So this one has the look of like a 56. So it looks kind of like the counterpart, the standard finish of a blonde Telecaster. It could be a 57. For some reason, it's got a 56 look to it. So I'm gonna say it's a 1956 Fender blonde Stratocaster. Let's see where it's at. Yeah! So it could have been a 57, hardtail blonde, really cool. Yeah, 1940 Martin D28. Whoa, $89,000. Yeah, I gotta learn my Martins just in case if I come across one, so I know what the hell I'm looking at. 56 Fender Stratocaster. Okay, I know like the Mary K's go for like 80K. I don't think this one's gonna be as much, but still very, very desirable. Let's go 60K. I'm not sure. 60K. Okay, 65 marked down to 53. So I was right about there. Okay, next up, yeah, this is the one of the bursts that I was waiting for. It's a 1960 Les Paul Standard Sunburst. I think they called this the Johnny Fever one from a previous owner. So I'm pretty positive about this. And then the other one, the Beatles Guitar Collection, I'm assuming is some kind of book. Let's see here. Yeah, 1960 Gibson Les Paul Standard Johnny Fever. I've seen this one around. Still gonna give myself the point. Beautiful guitar, double ring, tuners, flamey top. It's got the reflector knob, so this is definitely what you would call a late era burst. $300,000, Jesus. And 325, the Beatles, what? Okay, I thought this was some kind of book. This is obviously like a legitimate collection of guitars then. What? Oh my God. This is one of the most intentional collections one could imagine. The owner spent 20 years searching and acquiring these instruments. And each one is a reference to the instruments that were important to the Beatles' career. Wow. So let's see what they actually have in here. An actual 65 Fender Sonic Blue Strat, a 57 Gretsch Duojet, a 68 Rosewood Telly, 65 SG, 65 Casino, 64 Country Gentleman, 61 6120, a 58 Hofner Club bass, a 64 Hofner Beetle bass, 65 Rickenbacker 360. Oh my God. Wow. So not all of them are actual vintage guitars. Obviously the Rocky's a recreation, but wow. Whoa. That is cool. I didn't know about that one, so I'll have to take another look at that one later. Okay, next up, so we got another early Blackguard Telly. So this one looks like it's got slot head screws. So this is a very early Telecaster. It might even be a Broadcaster. I can't tell the serial number from the picture here. Hard to say. I'm gonna guess it's a 51 Fender Telecaster. Now, they might call this a no-caster because Gretsch sent them the telegram, said you gotta stop using the Broadcaster name. They clipped the decals, they're known as the no-casters. So, there's a good... Sorry, excuse me, those slipped out. So there's a chance that this could be maybe a 1950 Broadcaster, which would be super rare, or a 51 Telecaster, or a 51 no-caster. Either way, I'm gonna give it to me because it's kind of hard to tell. It's a 51 Telecaster or a 51 no-caster. Then we also have a really super nice looking maple neck Strat. It's alder body. So alder started in 56, and then two-tone Sunburst gave way to 3 and 58. This is a really clean example. Wow. So this has got to be a 56, a 57, or an early 58. I'm going to say, man, that's clean. I'm going to say 57. 1957 Fender Stratocaster and two-tone Sunburst. So let's see what I got. Wow, 51 Fender no-caster. So it is a clipped logo 51 Telly with the slot head screws. Very cool. And then a 56, okay, 0 off. Being strict with myself here, but that is like, I want to check to see if that's some kind of refin. No, $54,000, so I can't guess the price, but yeah, one of the cleanest 50 Strats we ever come through the door. Guitar's 100% original, collector's grade instrument. Light finish checking. I mean, that is probably one of the cleanest 56 Strats you'll ever find. Now, the no-casters, I have no idea. What are these guitars going for now? 40, 50K? I don't know what early Blackguards go for. Whoa, 103. Wow, okay. I've been out of that market for a while. Damn, 100K for a Telly. Woo. And that looks like all the guitars in Emerald City Guitars Vintage Showcase. Thank you so much for for joining me through all my guitar nerdum. I hope you enjoyed it a little bit, had a little fun, maybe learned something. I hope to keep doing this. I have fun doing it. I like sharing it, even though I know only probably a couple dozen people are gonna watch it, but I'm having a lot of fun. So if there's other nicely curated websites that have like vintage selections like this, let me know if I'm missing some, but I'm gonna look at some other sites and see what they got. So, did much better than the first episode of this edition of Surfing with Hopeless. So I hope you will join me again. Check out my content, subscribe. I need all the help I can get. So please, ring the bell, subscribe, like, comment, all that crap that they tell you to do in these stupid videos. Oh yeah, thanks for watching.